We're now joined by Curt Hopkins, the CEO of Koin Rewards, and James Brown, who is Head of Product. Welcome to the show, guys.
Good evening.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get any fun facts about you guys. They did tell me that there's no fun facts, they're always working. So I think we're going to go straight to the page. Are you ready, James?
I'm ready, yep.
Okay, let's do it.
So, good evening. My name's James Brown, Head of Product for Koin Rewards. And I'm here this evening to introduce you to an innovation in the loyalty space, a usage of blockchain to really revolutionize the way that retailers can engage with their customers and how customers can regain control of the value of their own loyalty. So what's our goal? Our goal is simple: to turn shoppers into hyper-loyal customers with a vested interest in the success of a merchant or a retailer's business. So, why are we doing this? If we look at the retailer dilemma to start off with, at the minute, retailers are seeing the costs for acquisition going upwards. They're also seeing lifetime value going down. A perfect storm. What's made it worse is that they're losing out to the power of the tech companies such as Google and Facebook and even Amazon, not just in terms of customer spend, but also in terms of the data. And that handing that power to these large tech companies is making it harder and harder for retailers to understand the motivations of their customers, why they shop with them, where else do they shop, and what value can merchants give to their customers in the long term. Additionally, it's very difficult for merchants to measure the offline attribution of their own marketing spend. Competition, as we know, is fierce, and the number of retailers and options and brands that shoppers have got these days is continually increasing. Ultimately, we want to give merchants a way to regain control, get a better picture of their customers, and really evolve the experience of shopping with them, and not just with them, but with brands that complement their own tone of voice. For customers, there's also an additional dilemma. They spend their money with merchants over time thinking they're developing loyalty, but the existing loyalty programs are losing value. They take value away. They're the ones that have centralized the control and determine how valuable someone's spend with that merchant actually is. We think that's wrong. We think there's new ways, new technologies that we can put the customers back in control of why they shop with merchants. So that's the concept. The next thing we've undertaken is to really figure out, what does our product actually look like? Well, for that we started off with a little bit of a survey. Now, we've done a lot of work in terms of who our target audience is going to be. We're very much focusing on millennials, very much focusing on 25 to 30-year-olds in that tech space. But we're also thinking of a longer term, trying to see where trends are forming from the next wave of shoppers, the next wave of disposable income. So we did some user research with a bunch of students from the University of Gloucestershire and asked them a number of questions. And I want to show you this evening 3 key stats to the question, how likely is it that you would? First of all, sign up to a following types of loyalty program. Interestingly, I'm sure you'll all agree, if you go to a store currently and they ask you to join a loyalty program, they'll hand you either a plastic card or a paper card with stamps. Well, that scored the lowest on our survey. The highest was an app-centric experience, with 86% of respondents saying they would sign up to an app customer loyalty program. The next part is really quite revealing. In an age where connectivity is increasing and sharing of data is becoming second nature, we see great potential in connecting a loyalty scheme to our members' bank accounts. That way we can offer a truly personalized experience and make sure they're targeted with the most relevant offers that mean something to them and not bombarded with superfluous, irrelevant messaging. All that's needed is to connect a bank account, and 75% of respondents were happy to do that. Now the next stat I find really exciting. How likely is it that you would join a crypto-based loyalty program? 59%. Now you think, well, hang on, that's a little bit lower than the other stats. But actually, that's 59% of respondents said they would definitely would or probably would join a crypto-based loyalty program, when 57% of those respondents hadn't even heard or knew what a cryptocurrency was before they undertook this research. So in the space of 5 to 10 minutes, we've managed to increase the number of people that not only knew about cryptocurrencies and therefore were likely to join it, but actually start to get into those ones that hadn't heard with that first piece of education. So how's that informed our actual product? Well, as you probably figured out, it's going to be an app-based program, where members, through connecting their bank account, can shop at merchants as they do in everyday life, and we will automatically earn coin and give them coin every time they shop with that merchant. The next piece is, because it's a cryptocurrency, the value of their coin can fluctuate through exchange trading. As the program becomes more popular, more people are using coin, market dynamics will help to influence the value. Truly decentralizing and relying on market control or influence to affect that value of loyalty. And members can redeem their coin at partner merchants, as well as trading it out for pounds or sterling if they need a little bit of extra money at the end of the month to pay some rent. How are we doing this? Using an API-centric platform. Modern technology to really provide a robust foundation for a scalable future. Through a smartphone app for members, merchant web portal for merchants to manage their program, and then integrations into industry-leading e-commerce and e-POS solutions such as Shopify, with future integrations with PayPal, iZettle, WooCommerce, and so on. Interestingly, of course, we've then got the blockchain and the capabilities that will give us in offering a unique experience to a more digital generation. What does this look like for our merchants? How are we going to launch? I mentioned earlier that we're focusing very much on the millennial market, and we've done a lot of research into our user personas for what our members are going to look like. Well, we've done exactly the same thing for our merchants. So we're looking at merchants that are new brands, looking to revolutionize the experience of shopping and really excite this new wave of shoppers. So far, we've signed up 7 merchants, all new to the market, fairly new brands in the shopping domain. And our target over the next couple of months is to increase that up to 20 and to launch with 20 merchants. These merchants, forming part of our Alpha Coalition, are really looking to innovate the experience for their shoppers.
Very good.
Thanks, James. That was a great pitch. Eddie, have you got any questions?
So how does this fit with a large merchant that already has a closed loop type loyalty system where they control the customers, it's centralized, and those customers spend those intergalactic credits in their own store? You can compete with these people or collaborate?
So I think to start off with, it's worth mentioning that we're taking a very iterative approach to rolling out this product. So our initial targets are those hip brands that don't have a loyalty program to start off with. That's not to say we wouldn't be very interested in a large merchant coming to us, and we'd certainly have the capabilities to integrate with them and to give them a new way to engage and to gather the data from the customers. But very much our immediate focus is the fresh brands.
Okay. I mean, what about competition? What about Avios? I mean, I don't know much about this market, but there are competitors who cut across merchants, right? So how do you compete with those? What's your sort of uniqueness?
Well, certainly there's schemes like Nectar and Avios, but what makes us different is we're utilizing the blockchain for this and creating a cryptocurrency out of it. So you can't take your Nectar points or your Avios air miles and spend them at a different merchant. It's very hard to do, or you can't convert them to cash. It's very difficult to do. And on top of that, those programs are setting the price that you buy and the price that you sell your points that you earn with them, and they make a massive margin on it. So what we're basically saying is that value of those points is set separately. It's set by the marketplace, and you as a customer can enjoy that reward in a much more big way.
I mean, an air mile's worth like a mile, isn't it, or whatever. So how do you think customers are going to respond to having a token that goes up and down with market effects? So their credits on their card are going to go up and down.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting because we've tested this, and when we did our first proof of concept, we found out that was one of the main appealing points of the program. Actually, that people liked the fact that they could see what happened to their a price and to their holdings. It can go up or it could go down. At the same time, what we can also do is we can really reward people not only for their spend, but also for their attention, for their participation, for their engagement with a brand, and that allows, I think, a lot more ways and different ways for us to get engagement out of the customer base.
Great. Okay. I mean, I, like lots of other people in my defense, had a little punt on Bitcoin that hasn't gone so well. And I was just wondering, what is going on with the market? Do you guys have any tips or indication, or do you think it's going to keep on going down, or do you think it might come back up, or?
Well, it's a very interesting time in the marketplace right now. Now, those who've been in the market for a long time, this is the 5th crash they've had. And this is not the worst crash, actually. I mean, this is only down, I think, 85%. They've had 90% crashes, and it's happened multiple times. So the thing about it is, they say you've not really enjoyed Bitcoin until you've had a proper crash and a proper 1,000% gain as well. So let's see what happens. This currency is volatile. It is very young. But I think if you look at the overall trend over the last 5 years, you'll see there's probably not an asset class that has outperformed Bitcoin. So it's done very, very well, but clearly this time last year it was an all-time high,
right,
and now it's well off that. It's about 85% less than that. So there's a lot of volatility, but the other thing we're seeing in the market is people are really focused on how do you build the technology to support blockchain and Bitcoin kind of applications. How do you build applications that people can actually use, and how can you make it easy to use? Because if you bought a Bitcoin or some Ethereum, it can be very difficult to buy. It's easy to lose your crypto keys, your private keys or your public keys. And so, we have all these stories about people throwing away their computers and losing their Bitcoin. So that's one of the reasons why we've launched our program, because we want people to be able to get into crypto very easily without having to worry about that, and a very great customer ease of use, having an app that is very simple and that you can actually earn crypto just from your everyday shopping.
So you think crypto is definitely here to stay then?
I think it is. I mean, whether Bitcoin goes up in price or not, who knows? I mean, that's not what we're here for. But I think the underlying technology's really fascinating, and the fact that you can create a means of exchange or a store of value, some new currency that you can use for all kinds of purposes. I mean, it just unleashes lots of innovation. That's what we're seeing right now. So it's very exciting times.
I think it's good. Okay, well, thank you so much, Curt, and thank you, James. That's all we've got time for from Koin Rewards tonight. If you'd like to find out more about the company, then you can do so at intelligentcrowd.tv.